Welcome to the eSports Report. I'm Chris Puckett, joined by Solid Jake to start the show. And today, we got all kinds of things to talk about. You're going to be giving us the rundown of what happened in Smash. We had what tournament this weekend?
SKTAR 3.
SKTAR 3. So that was out in New Jersey. We saw stuff going on in Australia with some Call of Duty action. We had, of course, the X Games profile. We're going to be covering Team Envious. I'm wearing my Envy jersey today. And we had the 2K as well as COD League matches played this week, and that we'll get to later. But first, let's start it off with Smash. Smash Melee is going to be at Anaheim, one of our Pro Circuit titles there. And this is the last major qualifier. It went down in Jersey. Talk to me a little bit about SKTAR. I know you went out there with a camera crew.
You know, this event was so stacked. 4 of the 5 gods were there. We had Armada over from Sweden. We had pretty much every top player except Hungrybox, Leffen, and Amsa, I guess I would say. So it was stacked. There were over 300 people there, you know, crammed in a little gym. It was actually very old school, like a homage, like a, you know, how it used to be back in the day. It was actually a lot of fun. So, you know, we had a lot of old school names, like Husband showed up. You know, Ken was there, Korean DJ, Chudat, Chillin' Dude.
Was there.
Yeah, there was a lot of old school names there, so it was a lot of fun. But, you know, the competition was there, and, you know, really, I just want to jump in and look at my predictions, because I was...
That's right. Last week on the show, I kind of put you on the hot seat. Yeah. I asked you who's going through. Now, this was the last qualifier, and it was a 2000 series? Or a 5K?
This is a 5K series.
This was a 5K. So you don't get much bigger than a 5K unless it's a Pro Circuit event. So here, if you place well, you get major pro points. You get seeded potentially into the championship bracket. Everyone else playing through open. So a lot on the line. You started off with telling me EG's PPMD, Dr. PP, he needed to get third. You said he was going to go through. What did he place?
He got first place. He won it all. He took, I mean, PP came with this fire that we don't always see. He was ready. He was just definitely there. And a lot of people doubted him because he's only been to one event since Apex. Now, he was the Apex champion, and that was in January. So he won the event, and people said, oh man, is PP the best now? He hasn't, prior to that, he hasn't won a tournament in a very long time. And he came out, and everyone kind of said, oh, it's a fluke. But then he went to Civil War back in 2 months ago, I believe, and he won that. And this is his 3rd tournament this year. That's it, which is not a lot. And he took it home when the competition was at the very, very, very top.
And you also said Soft, he was the easy pick. He was going through. That one definitely was true. Zero, pretty aggressive pick here. He needed 17th, got 9th. He goes through. Professor Pro.
He didn't make it. He didn't make it, you know.
Opposite of what Zero's placings were there.
Right. Yeah, Professor Pro had a lot of points from the 5K over in Europe. And he placed relatively well, I think at 1,100 points. So he had a pretty safe spot, but he's really a Project M guy when it comes to the core of it. He placed really well in Project M, but Melee, he fell short.
Now, you said Hacks, he was a really tough pick here, needed 9th. Went through with 5th, and Westballs, this is the guy that I thought you were stupid for saying he could do it.
Yeah, a lot of people...
Needed 5th place.
Yeah.
Just enough pro points. He's got a spot.
He clinched it, man. It was a really, really, really intense series between him and SFAT, and actually that was both players. If either of them won, they qualified. So it came down to being incredibly close.
Let's take a look at some of the gameplay, starting with Dr. PP. He wins the tournament, and I think we have just a few of some of his highlights. This is against Mewtwo King. Where's this from?
You know, this was in the grand finals of Melee. So Mewtwo King came back and he slaughtered through his bracket. He did, you know, Mewtwo King plays a variety of characters. You see a Sheik here. He did Marth Dittos, and no matter what he threw at PP, he just couldn't take him down. PP just stuck to either Marth or Falco, which are his 2 go-to characters. And Mewtwo King really switched through the roster. Just he couldn't defeat him. You see a Sheik. We saw his Marth. I don't think he actually went Fox, but those are the 3 that Mewtwo King typically plays.
So is it the Falco that you think was stronger, or was it the Fox, or was just PP on
is
it
known,
all?
He's known for his Falco for sure. I mean, his Marth is very good, but he's known for his Falco. You can see him just dashing around. He's really just kind of feeling himself, just really, you know, in the groove at this tournament. And he just looks so flawless. Like, even in doubles, singles, it didn't matter. He just looked really, really dominant.
And this looks like the very end, the 4-stock victory for Dr. PP. He takes it as the champion of SKTAR 3. He needed a top 3 placement. He gets first. Absolutely huge performance in Jersey from PP.
I mean, yeah, I can't wait to see him play at Anaheim because, like you said, he dominated. It was just 4 stock against Mewtwo King. That is almost unheard of because no one does that. So,
and I hear he had a pretty interesting matchup against Armada as well.
He did. There's a big rivalry between both, PP and Armada, and actually, we're gonna take a look a little bit more. We had an interview with him, and hopefully we'll take a look at that tomorrow. But honestly, the call-outs that we're getting between Armada and PP and Armada, there's a new rivalry that's budding, and I can't wait to really just look into that more. But we'll have to save that for tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll dig deep.
We'll save that. But Mewtwo King and Armada have an equally strong rivalry, and I think we have a little bit of that as well here.
All right, so let's take a look. Talk me through this rivalry. Of course, Armada from Sweden, Mewtwo King, originally an East Coaster, now living on the West Coast.
Right. So, the big storyline there is that Mewtwo King has actually never defeated Armada.
Never?
He's lost to him 4 times in Nationals.
And Armada's the Peach here.
Armada is the Peach. Armada is the Peach from Sweden. He's the one Peach player at the top level. He's literally the only Peach that's relevant nowadays. There are other strong Peaches, but Armada's just, the top level. So, at Republic of Fighters, Armada switched to Fox, and he played a lot of Fox. Now, a lot of people were worried that, maybe he would be going away from Peach, but he really threw that out the door. He stuck to Peach exclusively at this tournament, and he made it work until he hit Mewtwo King in the loser finals here. And Mewtwo King really just kind of brought it to him, and he came back, and that's something you don't see a lot from Mewtwo King. Usually once he's down, he's out. But he came back from deficits in multiple games and took the victory home, which was just really cool to see him do because it's not something he's really known to do.
Now, this was a best-of-5 loser bracket final, or no, it looks like just best-of-3.
Yep.
And Mewtwo King with a huge finish. Lots of emotion from Mewtwo King. Don't normally see that.
Oh, you do nowadays. He's a different beast. He gets so excited. He knows how big that victory was because this is kind of similar to what it was back in the day when Mewtwo King could not beat PC Chris. He was just behind this wall where he felt like he could never defeat PC. And at this event, he really just overcame Armada. And I think that it's going to be kind of similar back in the day. Now that he's defeated Armada once, he'll continue to defeat him.
So Mewtwo King finishing second in that, but I know that wasn't his only accomplishment. What else did he do outside of Melee?
He finished second across the board. He didn't enter Brawl Singles because he wanted to focus on Melee. He said, Melee is my game. I need to be ready for Anaheim. I need to be ready for EVO and CEO and all the big tournaments coming up this summer. So he said, I'll enter Brawl Doubles because I don't have to focus as much. He got second there. He got second in Project M Doubles. He got second. He didn't, Project M? I think, yeah, he got second there as well. He actually had a really interesting finals against it was a Mewtwo versus Mewtwo battle. It's just Mewtwo Ditto, as we call it. And that was pretty fun to watch. The whole crowd kept going, whoop, because that's the sound effect he makes. So it was a pretty funny event. But and he actually got first place in Melee 2v2s. So.
And speaking of that Melee 2v2s, who was his partner for that?
His own teammate. He's actually on the same team as Armada, so they actually always team together. They're actually known to be unbeatable in teams. So it was actually a pretty cool story because PP and Mango teamed up, and they said, we're going to take him down because PP and Mango don't get along. They're like, we're going to join forces, and we're going to take him down, but they failed to.
Failed to take him down. Well, we have one more player to highlight. Mewtwo King and Armada, of course, winning doubles. It was PP taking singles. But we had another old school player competing in New Jersey. Talk to me about Chudat's experience.
So the thing about Chudat that I find so interesting is because everybody's talking about, Ken, Korean DJ, Chillin' Dude, a lot of these other names, and nobody's really talking about Chudat. Nobody. I didn't hear once on the forums, once online that Chudat was going to be in the top, and he outplaced all the old school guys that everybody's talking about in their rise. And he came back, and Chu's known for being a really strong Ice Climbers player. And he uses a technique called wobbling, where he basically, once he grabs you, he gets an infinite combo, and you're done.
So is he wobbling Fox
That's a wobble right there, yep. You just can't
wobble.
Escape. So you can see Hax looks very frustrated, but, it worked out really well for him, and he placed in the top 9.
It's good to see Chudat back, man. He was a big face and a big storyline in the Smash Brothers documentary.
Yep.
Of course, I remember him back in 2006. He was like that good-looking gamer back in the day. In the room of smelly kids, he was that one who's probably going to get the girl.
You know, he just got picked up by Mortality Esports, so grats to them on picking up a strong player. But yeah, definitely choose a great representative of the Smash community for sure.
I love it. Well, congrats to Shootout. Unfortunately, didn't finish in the top 8, but like you said, 9th place, higher than everyone else. Where did the Liquid guys end up? Ken and Korean DJ?
Korean DJ, I believe, placed top 17, and Ken was a little bit below that. I think he placed 25th. So they had solid performances considering how stacked the tournament was, but you know, I know they were both disappointed with themselves. They both want a little bit more.
Of course. Well, they'll get their opportunity in Anaheim, but it's not going to be the easy road. They're going to be playing through the tougher bracket, but we have a couple guys qualified in our championship bracket. Who are the big names?
Well, I mean, we have the top 5. All of them are here, and the big argument is that Leffen is actually part of the top 6. So Mango, Hungrybox, Mewtwo King, PP, and Armada are the top 5. They're all here. Then Leffen, Remen is actually the guy that won the Japanese qualifier. He's a European player.
Oh, great.
We don't know for sure if he's going to make it out because, you know, he's qualified, but that doesn't mean that he's necessarily going to attend. So that's the big question.
It's not cheap flying from Europe to Anaheim.
Well, he's in Tokyo right now, so
oh, jeez.
So it's even further.
Not even cheaper.
Correct. So we'll see. That might be a different spot. We don't know who's next in the points. That's actually a big question right now. And Soft, he secured the spot with his Puff. Westballs barely made it in, and you see Westballs plays a big variety of characters. It's not very common to see 3 characters, and only Mewtwo King and Westballs do that. And it's actually pretty interesting that we have just the 2 Puff mains as well. So there's some good diversity, but Fox all across the board. Fox is becoming by far the most played character. People like to say 20XX, year of the Fox. And yeah, Amsa, the Yoshi of Japan, and Zero from Chile. And so we have a pretty global turnout, too.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
This is going to be one hell of an event. Guys, you can watch it all live right here on MLG.TV. It's going to be at Anaheim, June 20th through the 22nd. I know you're going to be the executive producer on that stream. How's that make you feel?
It's a dream come true, man. It's a dream come true. It really is.
I'm pumped for you. So those are the big names. Looking at our top 12 guys there, you got anyone for sure in your top 3?
PP.
At the end of PP?
I'm so sold on him. 3 events in a row, just complete dominant performance. He looked on a different level. He just seemed to be more reactionary to his other players, where he would change up his play style at a moment's notice when he saw something wasn't working. He had to change his approach. He did it, and the way he reacted, he didn't lose his cool. Like other players, that when they're being pressured too much, they seem to make mistakes. They seem to slip up more, but he was rock solid, honestly.
Well, what else was rock solid was the stream. I was really impressed with the commentators, great production, and I know the rebroadcast is going on right here on MLG.TV. What channel should we be looking out for?
Check it out, MLG.TV/VGBootcamp if you want to watch Melee, and then we have Brawl and Project M on the MLG.TV/Clash Tournaments.
Clash Tournaments and VG Bootcamp for those 2 streams. Jake, thanks so much for coming on the show. I know tomorrow we have even more Smash focus. What are some of the things you're looking to highlight?
We're really going to take a look at, we did some awesome interviews this weekend with all the top players, and we're going to take a look at probably PP in like a really in-depth status, just to see like how he feels about the game. We're going to take a look at some stuff with Smash 4, like how he feels about Smash 4 and looking into that, and just kind of focus on him. We might look at another player, but PP is the one that I'm just like definitely want to like. I'm all about him right now. Honestly, I'm pumped.
Jake's all about the PP. Guys, we're going to commercial break. When we return, it's RuneScape. Yeah, Revan is talking with one of the biggest streamers in RuneScape, an MMORPG. It's free to play in your browser. He'll tell you all about it after this.